biblical original languages. Actually, the Old Testament was written in Hebrew language. Some parts of the Old Testament, they are written in Aramaic language. New Testament was written in Greek. The Old Testament translation from Hebrew to Greek, it's called Septuagint. This translation was done for those Israelites or Jewish people who were in Egypt. After captivity, they forgot their language. That time Greek was their language. Because of the rule by Alexander the Great. So the Israelites needed their Old Testament in Greek, which they were familiar with. So it was translated by 70 scholars brought from Israel, from Hebrew to Greek, and that's why it's called Septuagint. Here, you see those parts, you will find Aramaic word in Old Testament. When Laban and Jacob made a covenant in Genesis 31:47, they made a covenant, they named it in their own language. Laban called it Jahar Sahaduta. That is the Aramic language, Aramean. He was an Aramean. So he named it as Jagar Sahaduta. Whereas Jacob was a Hebrew and he called it in his language Galid. You see, you will find certain words, especially in the New Testament, there are many Aramaic words. As I said earlier, some portions in the Old Testament, they were written in Aramaic language, especially if you see Daniel, 2nd chapter, verse 4 to 7th chapter, verses 28. From 2:4 to 7:28 was written in Aramaic because it happened in Babylon or Assyrian area. And Ezra also, chapter 4 verse 8 to chapter 6 verse 18 and chapter 7 verses 12 to 26 written in Aramaic. In the New Testament also there are many words in Aramaic. You see that, you can see it on the screen. Talitakum, little girl get up. That's what's the meaning. Mark 5:41. Ephatha meaning be opened. This is also an Aramaic language. Abba is father. That's also an Aramaic language. Raka meaning full. The Bible, Matthew 5:22. Rabuni meaning teacher. That is also Aramaic word. Jesus said on the cross, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me? That is also Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani is the Aramaic word. Hosanna again is the Aramaic word, and Maranatha is also an Aramaic word. See, there are so many Aramaic languages, Aramaic portions, as well as Aramaic words, because at the time of Jesus, he was talking Aramaic. These languages, Hebrew, Akkadian, Aramaic, all these languages come into one family. Arabic, you will find similar words in Hebrew and Arabic. where in the place where we are residing in United Arab Emirates, we find a lot of words. Ayun for the eyes, Beit, house. There are so many words. My, water, that is also in Hebrew. So these are the all same family group, Akkadian, Hebrew, Aramaic and Arabic. And the Aramaic language was in Assyrian area. Aramean, Laban spoke. So you find this in the Bible. You see here, we are going to see the Old Testament books. How the books are arranged. You should remember 5, 12, 5, again 5, 12. You see here, historical books are 5 books are there. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. These are all the 5 major historical books. And then you will find 12 minor historical books, small ones. There, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, 1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther. See 5 and 12. The next 5 set is poetical books. There, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Songs of Solomon. These 5 books are the poetical books. Again, on the right side you will find 5 major prophetical books and 12 minor prophetical books. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, followed by 12 minor prophetical books. They are Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. You see, these minor books, you can remember it by a set of 4. Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. 3 by 3 by, not 4, 3. Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. You see here, 5 on the left side, 5, 12 poetical books you can say your head, and then on the right side 5 prophetical books and 12. You see 39 books. It's better to memorize all the 39 books. 5, 12, 5, 5, 12. Easy to remember. What are the 5 poetical books? Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Songs of Solomon. What are the 5 major books? Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel. If you know the historical background, you can still remember it very easily. Say, for example, Jeremiah. Jeremiah was worried about captivity. He was warning people, don't disobey God. God will take you. He will capture you like the Israelites were taken. You will be taken as a slave. Obey, obey. They did not obey. They were taken as captive. Once they were gone, he was looking at Jerusalem and crying. That's what Lamentation is all about. How beautiful city it was. He cried. So if we know the historical background of each books, it is easy to remember all the books. That we will see in detail each books when time comes. But better to remember this 512, 5, 512. 512, 5, 512. Poetical books on the head. Keep it like that. Poetical books on the head. Left hand side, the 5 major, 12 minor. 5 major prophetical, 12 minor prophetical books. Now, we will see the Old Testament prophetical books written, to whom it was written. You see, I told you that 5 major and 12 minor prophetical books. We should know to whom it was written. If you take Isaiah, it was written to Judah. You know very well that, the in 1930, 931 BC, the kingdom was divided into two, Israel and Judah. So this Isaiah is a prophet who wrote the book of Isaiah to Judah. It's called pre-exilic. Exilic means, exile means they were taken as an exile, as a captive, as a slave. They were under captivity. So before captivity, the books which was written before captivity is called pre-exilic books. During captivity is called exilic books, and after captivity is called post-exilic books. So the Isaiah was written before exile to the kingdom of Judah. Jeremiah also to the kingdom of Judah, pre-exilic book. Lamentation, as I told you earlier, that Jeremiah was lamenting over the city because of the captivity. How? Because the whole entire city was destroyed, temple was burned by the king Nebuchadnezzar. So he was wailing over the city. He was crying for the city. How beautiful it was. That is what his lamentation is all about. And then Ezekiel during captivity. Ezekiel and next book is Daniel. These two people were under captivity. Daniel went in the first group, and in the second group, Ezekiel went. While they were in captivity in Babylon, these two books were written. So it's called exilic book. And Esther also was written during this time. And that we will see later. And then you have Hosea, it is written to Israel, and sometimes there is to Judah also it's mentioned there briefly, but mostly to the kingdom of Israel it was written. Again, it's a pre-exilic book. And then you have Joel also written to Judah, and it is a pre-exilic book. And Amos is written to Israel, again, as I told you earlier. For Judah also some notes will be there. So against Judah also there are some prophetical notes are there. That is also pre-exilic book. Obadiah is written to Edomites. The brother of he is the generation of Esau, brother of Jacob. So the pre-exilic, again pre-exilic book. This is a Jonah, and you see here Jonah and Nahum were returned to Assyria. You see the capital of Assyria was Nineveh. So these two books, and Micah was written to Judah. Again, it's a pre-exilic book. And Habakkuk, that is also written to Judah as a pre-exilic book. Zephaniah to Judah, pre-exilic book. And then after captivity, three books were written. When they came back to Jerusalem, and Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, it is called post-exilic books. You see here? So the books were different, written to different people, against them or for them or correcting them. These are all the prophetical books. He was warning Israel. He was warning Judah, don't do that. You will be under captivity. There are some other prophets who have not written book. Elijah, Elisha, they have not written books. But these are the people who wrote the books. Though if you read it with the understanding about it, you will really love it. If you take Amos, he is a man who used to collect fig from the tree, fig tree collector. He used to go to the market to the Israel and warn against the king. He spoke very boldly. Humble shepherd man. But he was preaching against the kingdom of Israel. It's a big kingdom. You see, if you know all the history, when it was written, then it is easy to understand. Without knowing, we have been reading Bible all these years. Better to know everything. When it was written, whether during captivity. Many people do not know when Daniel was written, when Ezekiel was written. They all think that was written somewhere. We should know Bible. We should know the culture at that time. You cannot compare that culture with our culture. You cannot do the same thing what you are doing now. You should know the background then. What was the culture? What was the language? How they spoke? What was their food? How they dressed? Why they greet each other? You see, in the New Testament, you greet each other with the holy kiss. There are people are misunderstanding it and kissing each other. In the Middle East, even men are kissing each other. There are many ways of kissing. They rub their cheek from each other. Some people put the hand on the shoulder on each other's shoulder and do it. Some people nose to nose they do it. It is a culture. You cannot take it for granted to do the same thing in your country. This is meant for the culture that time. Even nowadays, there are those cultures are prevailing there. So we should know when it was under captivity. Why Haggai is writing? Because they failed to do it. Why Malachi is writing like that? Why Haggai is condemning them? Why he is sad? Everything we can understand only if you know the background. We'll go to the next slide.